Hey folks, I'm with the man of the hour, Peter Nix.
It's true.
And not only that, you might remember the ER, which is the waiting room,
yeah.
which is basically the story of the Highland Hospital ER. Frankly speaking, made me cry. And not only that, I want to congratulate you personally on one of the best films of our generation. I have to tell you, just was outstanding, outstanding. How did The Force come about from the perspective of a person who actually interviewed, Jasmine, right? So
we're wrapping up the waiting room and trying to think about what we're doing next. And part of the value proposition of Oakland, my nonprofit that makes this umbrella for all of my films, is getting access to public institutions that ordinary people can't get access to. And sort of understanding how those institutions are or are not functioning in our community is vital to our democracy. And so we wanted to, but also part of our approach is to go in a non-judgmental way, not necessarily trying to, say one thing or another, but just trying to understand the men and women who are cops. Really, the central question of the film initially was who becomes a cop and why. In the intervening weeks and months from when we conceived of the film, Black Lives Matter wasn't even a hashtag when we began.
That's true. And
then everything changed, and then everything changed again. We were almost done with the film when the scandal broke out, so we had to really sort of think about how to put the film together, and here we are today.
What did you learn most of all that you didn't know before during the journey that you took in making this?
That we have to learn how to hold multiple truths simultaneously, sometimes that are contradictory. And we discovered this was a department that was seen and it was being held forward as a model for reform in the nation.
Right.
At the same time, it had sort of an internal, a lot of people describe it as a moral rot or a toxic culture that bubbled up. And I think those two realities sort of existing side by side sort of turn your mind around, and you have to kind of reconcile that and try to understand that. So I think this is really a film that asks the audience to put those two things side by side and draw meaning from it. And it's difficult.
Is it kind of like, and I'll share, I covered when Austin Grant broke, I made a number of videos about that.
Yeah.
A friend of mine who was a San Francisco sheriff, just retired, told me, he said, you have to understand something. He repeated it during the sex scandal. He said that cops have beat wives on the beat. I've never heard that term before.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they have to, are they changed by the environment they cover?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. I think some cops come in with pre-existing conditions, and some cops are changed by the job. You've seen training day.
Wow.
They're surrounded by trauma. They don't have a lot of mental health support. There's a macho-ness of like, I'm not going to talk about what I saw today. The guy who shot himself in front of me. The domestic violence that they see over and over and over again. I think that's one of the things that most people just don't understand what it's like to be a cop. On the other hand, so really understanding how difficult it is for them to confront matters like race.
Right.
And how difficult that combination is, and sort of the implicit bias. So that's also something that we want to explore.
I know you want to get in here and do this, but hey, man, thanks a lot. Man.
All right, man.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.